Now we can go ahead and work on our data, right? So we can't change the name, the employee ID, which change them alter table, and we say change column. So we can change what we want to do, the function and the column to specify which column you want to change. Okay, we change the name, right? We rename the columns. I did that because I wanted uh, employee ID and the table employee, which is the primary key, to match the foreign key on the appointments table, which is employee ID. It was emp ID right there. It was emp ID right there, so I'll change it to employee ID, right? Um, the same thing I did for office ID. Okay, so we got the column change, and then um, we always look at the data. We didn't see any empty or no NA value on it, but we can still try to see if there's on it. Okay, so we can select everything. Let's just use what we have right there. Let's just copy and paste it. Select everything. All right. So we just select everything where uh, the columns we have employee ID. For example, employee ID is no. Okay. So we didn't see any no value on it. So there'll be, see, it's empty because there's no value, right? We can do the same thing for all the tables and try for the columns, right? We already looked to the data, so we select everything from appointments, from branch office, from employee tables. We didn't see anything, any empty values, but we can still filtering with the workloads. So we use select, we use form, we use workloads to see if there's any null value or if there's any spaces, character that need to update it, right? So everything is set up so far. What we're trying to do is trying to clean the data, understand the data, clean the data, right? So the next thing we're trying to do is see if there's any duplicated value. We already went to the when we did the branch office, okay? We know there's like very few offices and they're not duplicated on them, so it's only 5. So and when we did the same thing for employees, so there was no duplicate either. So all as well, so we already know there was no duplicate. There's very few employees now. Now for the appointments, there's more appointments, right? There's more appointments, so we can see if there's duplicate on the appointments table, right? So let's go right there. I'm gonna put a let's put any comments on them, okay? Let's put comments so that way we know what we're doing. Let's go right there first. Okay, let's go right there first so we know what we're doing, right? Comment. Looking at the data or general view. Oh no, I don't know with comments. Now we can say renaming the column. Okay, and then we can go down. What was it? Looking for no values and appointments table. I I should have updated the appointments table name. We can do the same thing as well. Updated the appointments table name. We could have changed that as well. Um, now we said we're looking for duplicate. Now looking for duplicate. I kind of pause for a second. I'm going far. Okay, so the easiest way we can look for duplicate. Let's go with select on the appointments table, and then we have from, right? Okay, and then we have to you're gonna have to do group by. In this case we have to do group by, right? So I'm gonna show you guys the first thing we do. Let's do it right there, select. Okay, select. uh Remember the appointments table has an, that's why we got that open right there. The appointments table has appointment type, em, appointment time, employee ID, office ID. So we're gonna use employee ID. Why? Because office ID might be repeated, time and type might be repeated, right? But it should be if the type and time and office ID repeated for the same employee ID, so that means a duplicated, right? But the office ID the time and appointment time might be repeated for different ID, different agent. Right? But if it's the agent has the same thing, duplicated, so that's why we're trying to do it by employee ID on that case, right? And then we're going to try to do, there's a different way you can do it with a CTE or with the Windows function. There's different ways you can do that. Try to get the ID, employee ID, with the data as well. So there's different ways you can do that. So on that case, what I'm trying to do, I'm going to select the, we say appointment type. There you go. And then we say appointment time. We're going to do office ID. Okay. Now, to get the duplicated, what we're going to do, we're going to count function everything, right? We can select office employee ID to get. Let's do employee ID. And then we're going to do the, we're going to count everything. We're going to call that everything numbers, number row, whatever. Now we go into the form. We're going to say appointment setters. He's not giving me the name. Shoot. And then get the table appointments. Why not loading this thing? There you go. And then we're gonna go by all this, right? Just copy it. We're gonna go by all this, and then we're gonna having to one example. I don't use where close on that one because I use aggregate function count. So the where close go first before the select, so I can't use the where close on that one. That's why I use having. So we're gonna run this. You see? Oh no, again. The employee ID. That's why the employee ID. Remember I told you the employee ID cannot is the one we should be doing. So the employee ID. There you go. You see? So the appointment type, office ID is not repeated. There's no repeated information right here. So that's mean everything is like there's no duplicated. That's what I mean. Okay, there's no duplicated. The other function I say we could use office ID. We could use a CTE. Let's give it a name. Um, Comments. Different option to find duplicate. Right. So we say with, give a name, word number. No, the word number is a function. That's the function we're gonna use. So let's say with appointment duplicated. Appointment duplicate as, there you go. There we can still select and then select. Okay. I'm going to copy all of this and select. Okay. We're going to remove employee ID. Oh, we had employee ID in this one when we wanted, so we didn't need it. It didn't give an error because the group by tried didn't do it. So yep. So we got everything right here. So word number, which is the function we say we're going to use, over partition by, we go partition it by all of this, right? And then we do order by, yep, and we're gonna give it a name. Let's say row, let's say count row, because row count is a function. So count row. So we're gonna get that from the same thing. Let's just copy down right there, so we don't have to be repeating. So, yep. And then there you go to select. We can select everything now. Of course, also select control from the CTE we just created. Right? And then we can do group by where. We can say where. Okay, so one. Got it. Then the group by go after. Yeah, go do after that. Now we can run everything. There you go. You see, we got appointment type, appointment time, office ID, employee ID, and count row, which is the function we just created. So there's nothing, right? There's nothing with the row above one. Now, row function. There you go. Okay. So we got the rows. They are all one. There's one of each of them. None of them repeated. Okay. So when MySQL group them, none of them repeated. It's ID, there's a time, and there's a check-in. So none of them repeated. All the appointment, none of them repeated. Basically, that's how we can do it. But in our case, since we wanted to do the duplicate, only the duplicate, that's why we put the rows that greater than one. If there's any row greater than one, that's when they're duplicated. We have it shown right there. Now we see there's no empty value, there's no duplicated. The names are correct, everything is correct, so we don't have to do anything. Um, One of the thing we now let's see now what I did. Okay, now we're gonna see what I did. If there's anything to fix, I will fix it. Okay. So what I did, we say let's get the office with the most appointment, right? So there's all the offices for like 5 offices. Now trying to see the offices with the most appointment. So we say that we select. I put the alias O that location. Okay, on the office table we select O. We got the location, which is the office. We got the count, or to count the appointment. On the alias A, which is for the appointments table, as total appointment. And then we select the appointment set, the branch office, which is where we got the location, and also we get the appointments where we get the appointment type, right? So we do the join office ID equal office ID, right? O and A, that's what with the alias right there. So appointment setters, that branch office, which is the table for the branch offices, alias O. We join it um, appointment setters, that appointments table, which is the appointment table, as alias A. We join it on office ID is the office ID, right? And then we group by location. Remember, we count is a aggregate function, so we cannot use it on the group by right here, okay? And then we order by the total appointment descendant, so we can see the greater one, the one with the most appointment. So right now we can see this is random data. So the one in Elizabeth, Patterson, Hoboken, Newark, and Jersey City. So Elizabeth has more appointments, right? Um, so if we had if you wanted to put a rank on it, like 1, 2, 3 to rank it, we could use the dense function, the rank function, to put it to rank them, right? To rank them in descendant order. Okay. Now um, we can get the same data using CTE, right? So that's what I did. We can let me we can get the same data using CTE, right? So I did appointment total, which is a total appointment, as my CTE, my function. So we say I select the office ID, the location. So in that case, I got more, not just the location, and then the appointment. I got the office ID, the location, and also the appointment type. Okay, and I did the same join, and then I do the CTE. Okay, we should see we have the same information right here. It's the same thing, just like different thing, right? The CTE is important, especially when we like wanna use several aggregate, and it's kind of like give you an option to get the data different ways you want it. But like, since we're looking for something simple, just count the appointment, so we don't want to have to do CTE for that one, right? But I just did it. Okay, we didn't have to. Okay, and then we say let's see the total appointment made by type, right? So the same appointment, but you see the total by type, right? Type of appointment. Remember, there's on the an appointment type, there's appointment type, appointment time. We can see the time. We can like group them. Um, let's one that we see. I say select appointment type. We're gonna count the type as total appointment, and then we group them by appointment type. Okay, I group them by appointment type. In that case, you're gonna count all the appointment, which is the same thing we did earlier, but you're not gonna group it by the office or by the agent. You're gonna group them by the appointment type. Okay, so there's 77 check-in appointment, 58 consultation, right? And then what else? The other thing is say the agent with the most appointment. Okay, um, I call the employee table the alias E. So I say from the employee table E that employee name, we're gonna do the employee's name. We don't count the appointment, okay? And I do the journal, the same journal we did earlier, but in that case instead of office, we did appointment and employee ID, and then we did the goodbye. Kind of the same thing, right? The same thing. Georgia Carter has 14, tied with Bob Johnson, and Victor Walker got 13, and Alice May got 13. Okay, and then we can from that we can put a like a rank if you want to. The same thing we said earlier, we can put a rank on it. I don't know if I put it. Okay, I got a rank. Okay, I was going to do it, but we got a rank. Okay, I use dance rank, right? We can use rank or dance rank. I use dance rank because dance rank uh, do the consecutive ranks. If there's two people tied, it be 1-1, and then two or three. But rank skip it, right? Rank skip it. So I said dance rank, and I got a second. Okay, so I did the dance rank over. I counted the employees, and I said descendant. Okay, I counted the employees, and I ordered by that, and then I call him employee rank. The same thing I did right here. Okay, the same thing is I put my total, the same thing employee rank, and I counted the employees, and then I put the employee name, and then I put the total, right? So I got the rank as I mentioned earlier. See, Carter and Johnson got 14 each, so it's 1-1. And then Victor, Walker, and Smith got 13 each, so it's 2-2. Okay. If I use rank function, it will be 1, and then that will be the next one will be 1-1, and then the next one will be 3-3, and the next one will be 5, right? Which is 3 in that case. Okay. And then I also do the same thing, but I do row number. Okay, we can do the same thing with row number to assign a row. Instead of counted the instead of assign a rank to them, like who's first, who's second, you just count the rows. Okay, assign a number or an ID to the rows. So I use row number to do that. It's the same function. Instead of using dense rank or rank, I use row. Okay, the row number function, the same one we used earlier. Now we see, let's see how many appointment each. Let's see how many appointment each office is missing to reach their goal. Okay, that's one of the questions we have to answer. Each office has a total of 100 appointment. They have each have a total of 100 appointment. So we wanted to see um, what's the missing value, right? So to do that, remember I said with CTE, I use CTE a lot. So I do the appointment total, the same as earlier. I counted the office ID, the location, because we're trying to see the office with the how many appointment are missing. So we counted all the appointment, okay, and then I got the same journal earlier, and then we did the go by and everything. The only difference in that case, and then we calculated the missing to 100, which is the total appointment, which is the one we got here, total appointment minus 100. Okay. Now, why did I do the count appointment um, over the partition, right? Why I did that over the partition? Well, I did that because if I just say count appointment type, it won't not count per offices, right? It will count everything, right? I could say count appointment type and then put a good instead of putting the goodbye function right here, I could put the goodbye function on inside the city right here, right? But I would not have a like row by row function. Since I wanted a row by row function, that's why I put it right here. There's a row by row function. Okay, that's why I put the remember when you put over and then you put the partition by, so it gives you the row by row function, which is different when you do the goodbye or when you do the row or any other clause. Okay, it gives you the total, like combined. But I wanted the row by row so we can see each appointment type by the offices. Okay, not the total of appointment type, but each appointment type by the offices, so we can specify that. Okay, so that's why they like that. And again, we could have do the goodbye right here. So and then let's run this. You will see the difference. You see. So Elizabeth got 71 appointment, missing 29 to 100. Okay. Now this and we got the numbers and everything for the offices. Okay. And then oh okay on the employee table there's a employee, there's a supervisor. Okay, so we're gonna see the supervisor by the employees, how many employees there are by supervisor, the hours each supervisor team worked. Okay, and also the total appointment made. Oh, I didn't get the total appointment made. That was one of the question as well. The total appointment made. Um, so there's Carol White and Bob Green and Alice Smith. This is the total employees they each want to have. They have 12, 12 more, 11. So, and also we got the total hours they work. That's not an average. We could use instead of using the total, the sum, we could use an average. You see an average per supervisor. Okay, yeah, okay. So we got the appointment. So we could have do the appointment right here as well, right? Instead of doing the appointment later, I could have do the appointment right here. Let's say one query, and one time, okay? Instead of doing it like twice, I could have done that right here. We can do the same thing, put the appointment right here, and also the average. You see the sum hours work. We can also do the average hours work. So in one query, we don't have to do everything like separate, if you want to, depending on what you want to answer. Okay. So I did that. So I just wanted. So Bob Green got 70, 112. Now let me see if I did it. So I didn't do it. So I'm going to include just in case. Okay, so we said the total appointment. So and we here we got the how many employees they got. We also got the hours they work. But and then we got the total appointment separate. We're gonna put them together just in case so we can see we can have an idea about the production, right? So let's do it. Okay, we already said the supervisor, which is on the employee table. We're gonna do the same thing, the employee total, the same thing right here. But then instead of calling it, that's from the e dot employee. And then we're going to do the same thing with the hours work. Okay, got it. So the hours work is from which table? Hours work is from the employee table as well. So we're gonna say employee table e that hours work, and then we're gonna count the appointment type. Okay, that's it. Okay, and we group them by supervisor. Okay, there you go. So Bob got more. He got more appointment. Hold on, I calculated for Bob the total employee count, employee that name. Let me try. Let me try this thing and see. There you go. There you go. There you go. So I didn't use the city for that. I just used this thing. and I didn't use the over partition to do that as well. So that, yeah. So with this tag, I got it. So this tag give us unique value, unique employee per supervisor. So yeah, that good. So basically, Bob has 12 employee, and they got like more hours. Yeah, they got more hours. They got more employee, more appointment made. So this Carol has the same total employee as Bob, but they do less hours and they got less appointment. And Alice got less employee, do less hours and get less. And then we did the total appointment by location. So basically, the supervisor will say where did they get their appointment, the most of their appointments. So Bob's team got the top appointments, and Elizabeth is the top one. And remember, Elizabeth, when we did earlier, Elizabeth is the one with the most appointment made, and then the other one is Patterson, so the same thing. And then that's the same thing. We did it. We did without the CTE, just normal, and then we did with the CTE to get the same information. Okay. So the idea was to play with it, use different function, play with the data a little bit to get more practice. And rank, you see, I use the rank right here. Um, okay. So on what I did here, I remember that right now. So what I did, I used two different CTEs. I used two CTEs to create it, um, the data. Okay, to create the view I wanted to do. So let me just show you guys. Okay, I got I wanted to get the location and the top ranking appointment type and the total. Okay, so basically on Elizabeth, the top appointment type is service, and they got 19 service. Okay, remember Elizabeth got a total like 77 or 71 appointments in total, but the top appointment they got the most is the service one. And Oboken got more checking, got like 17 checking, which is the most. Okay, so basically that's all the thing we can do with the data. Try to get more information. The next thing I will do is to see. I will do a double CTE as well as I did with that one, but to see the agent, the appointment they made, and the hours worked. So you can see the who has the most hours. If the one who has the most hours has the most appointment, okay, that's an interesting thing to do. On the next video, I'll post that one. Um, I didn't want to do the video like longer. I don't think I got more I did. So basically that's it. That's little practice. That's made up data. It's not like a real data. It's just made up data. And I practice with it. Little practice with it. My portfolio. I got my portfolio online, my webpage. It's on my LinkedIn and everything. So I'll post it right there in the description so you can click on it and see. And that did I work on it as well. I will go and posted it so you can like look at it and maybe you spot something, or maybe there's more I could do with it. Okay, so that's it. If you're interested on the video and liked it, you can help me with the or like or subscribe or share it, and I appreciate that. Thank you.